Hi everybody! Time for your Week 8 wake-up call. I can't believe that we are nearly halfway finished with this semester. Here's what your schedule looks like. Between now and next Sunday, you need to have read all of Chapter 7 in the Academic Writer. If you've looked ahead, which I hope you have, you know that next week you'll be working on an annotated bibliography, and you will need 4 sources for that. And you're going to locate 2 of those sources this week and read them. And the information in Lesson 3.2, Finding and Evaluating Sources, will help you do that. And the discussion post will also get you going on that. Here's what the unit looks like. So remember, each one of these is links. Please read through Lesson 3.2, Finding and Evaluating Sources. You have 2 videos there, library research tutorials. Now last week, remember I said that for some reason the link was broken, so I provided you with an alternative. But we now have the WSU library tutorials in place. So each one of those will take you to a very good video that will help you figure out how do you actually determine if a source is credible. Is it a reliable piece of information that will actually further your research? And then at the bottom, Lesson 3.2, that discussion post is due by Sunday. Oops, no, I'm sorry, by Wednesday. Wednesday is the 13th. I know that you have posted a couple of things now helping to narrow down your topic, and I am getting to those as quickly as I can. I want to make sure I give you plenty of feedback before you go too deep into this to make sure that you have narrowed your topic. So I will really be working on that at the beginning of this week. Okay, so post your discussion post by Wednesday. And this is just a screenshot of what you'll be doing. Please read the entire discussion post before you start. You're going to post your research question. Remember, you started with a very broad or general topic, and you've whittled it down to a much more narrow and specific research question. And then use the WSU libraries to find 2 sources that you think will be useful to use in your ultimate research paper. These might be peer-reviewed articles, books, or other academic sources, and you're going to include the MLA citations, and you have a list of questions to answer for both of those sources. So here they are. I'm not going to read through them, but I do want to discuss a couple of them. Number 5, is the source biased? Why or why not? Well, you know, just between you and me, if a human being wrote it, it is biased, because we filter things through our own experiences and our knowledge. However, as researchers, we need to really look at what might be the potential sources of bias in the information that we gather. If it's biased, does that mean it's not useful? No. It may still be a useful, credible source. We just have to really think carefully and critically about who's providing this information and what filters might that information be going through. An example might be, let's say there's a psychiatrist who writes an article on the best treatments for ADHD. And in that person's bio, you see that they operate many clinics around the country where they treat people for ADHD. Now, that might be a slightly biased source because it's conceivable that this person is highlighting the treatments that they personally use in their clinics that they profit from. Does that mean it's a useless source? No, not at all. You have to look at the larger picture, look at the context, compare it maybe with some other sources that you've gathered to see if it agrees or disagrees in any significant way. So this is a very sort of nuanced process, and you just have to look at things with a very critical eye. Number 7 is also important. Is this source a primary or secondary source? And remember, that information is in your chapter that you're reading, but primary basically means, is this the original source? So something like an interview. Did this information come straight out of a person's mouth who conducted the research, or has it been reported um, two or more times? You know, how many different layers has this gone through before you are finally reading it? Um, so that's something else to think about. Please answer all 8 questions for both sources. The last thing to talk about is midterm grades. Those are going to be submitted in the middle of this week. And when you see your midterm grade, just keep in mind it's nothing but a snapshot of all your activity up to this point. It's not 50% of your final grade. It doesn't get averaged, to create your final grade or anything. In fact, the bulk of your points, your score, is going to be accrued in the second half of this semester because of your final portfolio. It is such a significant part of your final grade. So, so just keep that in mind. Let me know if you have any questions this week. Drop into office hours if you wish, and good luck. I'll talk to you later.